I understand that the city provided funding to help repair the building.
Yeah, it was provided by a grant from the federal government to the city of Sacramento and the county of Sacramento. The only part of that that was important to us was the city of Sacramento. And we were able to obtain a couple $100,000 worth of startup money to make this into a community center, which was of course being snickered about among many people about that. Because they didn't believe in it, they didn't think that it could be done. And there were many people who laughed at it and didn't think it was worthwhile. And but we had some very shrewd operators, and one of the things we did was make sure that we didn't spend the $200,000 on just whatever came up, but to get everybody to participate and use their labor to make things happen. And that worked out beautifully.
You told me the first association meetings were held in the cafeteria, and that after that other buildings began to be leased out. Could you tell us how that process worked and how you made that happen?
Well, we had a relationship with a person who was taking care of my child, and it was called the Busy Bee Daycare Center. And the person that was there happened to be a young lady who was very ambitious, and I talked to her a number of times. And when this came up, I said, well, you know, you want to start something, don't you? She said, oh yeah, I really do. I said, well, I got a space over here that you might be able to get. Why don't we go over there and take a look at it? And so we did, and she was out of her mind as soon as she saw that, because there wasn't a lot of work to do on that particular part of the building. And that is a gift. You know, it was actually the only portion of the building that wasn't associated with the Field Act, because it was built afterwards. And so very quickly, you know, she jumped on it and I jumped on it with her, and we were able to front some money, but not a heck of a lot. She had to do a lot of this work herself, which was the model that set everything up. And it was beautiful, and then that gave you hope, you see, that you could do this. And that one got done, and then another one got done, and then another one got done, and then, you know, they just kept right on going until they were full.
And so you charged low rent and made them do the work.
Yes.
You want to talk more about that?
Yes. Well, that's the way you get things done. If you're a neighborhood association of some kind, you're going to have a very minimum budget, and you don't have any way of making that work for you. But if you have a facility full of neighborhood organizations that want to make money, they can make a lot more money when they're together. So that was sort of the thinking that went on. Well, we get these people here, we have a lot of cultural activity, which creates more cultural activity, and good things happen, and then you can raise the prices as you go. And that's exactly what happened. And there were a few of these that weren't actually what you would call neighborhood associations. There were more associations with various kinds of activities that people would get into. But most of it was actually community-oriented stuff.